Raymond Verney unlocked the door to an empty, unfurnished flat in London's East End and sighed deeply. He glanced at his watch, supposed glumly that the first members of the cast would straggle in shortly, and started pinning several sheets of paper onto the grubby walls. He'd been hired by a publishing company holding a summer conference at St. Bede's College, Oxford, to set up a murder mystery weekend. Ray was a jack of all trades, and hiring a cast of actors, writing their scenes and concocting a believable murder mystery had taken him only a matter of a few weeks. It was, however, the hidden agenda that worried him. Ray had, in his time, done many things that less liberal-minded people would have considered criminal, but nothing violent. A clever computer swindle or two, a property scam here and there, and since meeting up with a talented forger, the selling on of a dodgy painting or two, Ray knew people who knew people and prided himself on being a creative kind of crook. He was a portly, amiable-looking man, with white hair thinning into a fringe just above his ears, leaving the top of his head shiny and bald. His eyes were a twinkling, easygoing blue. He spoke with a warmth and sincerity that fooled everyone, at first. He'd never been to prison, though he'd come close once or twice, mainly because he preferred to be the anonymous middleman. But this time it was different. This job was like no other he'd ever tried to pull, and that's what was worrying him. That, plus the fact that he didn't trust his client. The man was cool, clever, and quite obsessed. He made Ray very nervous indeed, especially since he insisted on being in at the kill, so to speak. Ray sighed heavily and began to rehearse his welcome speech to the cast of actors due to arrive at any minute, plus an explanation of the murder mystery weekend. It was important to Ray that the weekend conference ran smoothly. Nobody must suspect that all wasn't as it should be. These actors, for instance, must have no idea that this particular gig would be different from any others they might have previously done. To accomplish that, he had to act like a pro, as a proper producer, director, and organizer, which would be easy enough for a man of Ray's talents. He'd even written the perfect plot to cover the real felony that was going to take place within St. Bede's hallowed halls. The conference itself, of course, was strictly legitimate, and the delegates would be encouraged to play Miss Marple or Sherlock Holmes to their heart's content. It was what was going on behind the scenes that worried Ray. For this time, he was not going to be in the background. If something went wrong, it would be his head on the chopping block.